Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Today is the 9th day of Vlogmas. We made it. Spirit fingers. Today I'm going to do a sock tutorial. I'm going to update the Tutu sock tutorial. Here is another way to make tutu socks that you might like it. There's a million ways. There's a couple really good ways. And so this is the way that I have been using as of late because I feel like it's less time consuming. You're going to need organza ribbon like this. I ordered this online. I believe this came from Amazon. Of course, I will link it in the description box. You're also going to need ribbon. I have 1-inch ribbon on hand, but if you'd like the big ruffles, you're going to want to get like 1.5, 2-inch ribbon. That's going to make it look super full. And you're going to need a pair of bobby socks. You can get the small ones at Walmart. These we ordered online. I will leave links in the description box to where you can get socks. You can get everything in the description box. So the longer we cut this, the more full your sock is going to be. So you need to do at least double. Here's the sock opened up. You need to do at least double. And this is going to scrunch up around the top of the sock. Like this. So you want to do at least double. That's going to give you a light ruffle. I'm doing all of this just to go around this sock. And I've seen where people charge $25 up to like $25, $27 for a pair of ruffle socks, and I get it because you're using a lot of supplies and it's basically like making a tiny tutu. That's basically what we're doing here. So you do need to sew on a sewing machine for this tutorial. You probably could hand stitch it, but that is going to take you forever, so I don't recommend that. If you can sew a straight stitch and a zigzag stitch, you can make these socks on your sewing machine. So in a previous video that I made a couple years ago, I just used tulle, and that's a method too. This is a little more sturdy. It's a little more sturdy than the tulle, and so it makes the socks stand up a little bit better if you were struggling with that. You can use less of this. You have to use a whole lot of tulle to get that stiffness. So just to let you guys know, this is a sock for a 10-year-old. And I have, let's see, is this a whole yard? 1, 2, I have about 2 yards and a few inches of ribbon per sock. Now I also need to cut this sock, or this ribbon, to match. And make sure you seal the ends. I seal the ends on the organza too. And then let's go over to the sewing machine. What we're going to do is connect these two. So I'm just going to stitch right along here, basically making a wider ribbon. I have my organza ribbon and I have my satin ribbon. You can use whatever kind of ribbon you would like, and I'm just going to attach the two. I'm using my longest stitch length. I'm just going to attach the two. Oh, first you gotta turn your sewing machine on. That's helpful. Okay, so as you can see, can you see? Come on. You can see that we have our ribbon attached. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's gonna ruffle like this anyway. I've switched my bobbin and thread to match the organza ribbon and the sock. Now I'm going in on a basting stitch, or just the widest stitch that I have, and I'm not going to back stitch. I'm just going to start sewing, and that's going to allow me to scrunch the tulle like you've seen me do in the other tutorial. And you can see I switched out the bobbin thread and my upper thread here so that they're both white, so they match the organza ribbon and the sock. So I'm going to take the two ends on right sides together and put a stitch right here. It's your angle, but now just I have a whole circle because I've stitched the ends together. From here, what you're going to do is sew a basting stitch, or which is basically just the widest stitch that you have, so that you can scrunch this into like a mini tutu. So I'm going to start here. I'm not going to back stitch because I want to be able to slip the organza on the thread. You're just going to pull one thread and start scrunching. One thread on either side. You don't want to scrunch it all the way down because you need room for the sock. So think about it, when the child puts on the sock, they need to be able to open it. And this part is not going to be stretchy. So you don't want to make it too tight. I have the sock like this. And then I have, this is the wrong side, this is the right side. So put it around the sock like this. So the right side is on top. My sock is shooting up like that. And when I sew, I'm going to sew a zigzag stitch connecting the two. And you're going to need to pull it open, and then it's all going to scrunch together. So you're going to need to pull it open as you sew, but when you let it go, it's all going to scrunch down and make this ruffle sock like this. In the time that it took me to come back to this, I made a TikTok outfit, and I make that with black sequin. You can look on my page and see that, but that's what's all over the desk now. And the sun has moved and the kids are home, so hopefully you can see this okay. So we got our ruffle sock. It didn't take me that long to make it. It just took me this long to get back to it. So we've got like our little mini ribbon trim tutu here. And I'm going to start here on the seam. And I like to put that in the back of the sock. And then I'm going to start sewing. You can use pins if you want it to be exact. But the pins get in the way for me, so this is just how I do it. I hope that you can see this. So there's my string. Here's my sock. Back stitched. Make sure it stays put. And then we're gonna go.